Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this system anyways. So this system came to us with basically the system overheating. So it was actually given an error to the customer, saying that it was overheating, fan was really loud, sounded like a jet airplane. So we're gonna do maintenance on it and get it working for the customer again properly. It has been opened before, which is the first thing I noticed. So let me switch it over here. Just pull the cables out. So, as you can see, the warranty stickers are off, which means it's definitely been opened before. What we notice in these situations with the customers is they tend to open it because something else is wrong or they want to clean it out or whatever, and they actually don't do the maintenance properly. So they don't change out the thermal paste, they just assume the standard thermal paste is going to do a great job. And it doesn't. So, what we're going to do first is basically open her up. So we'll take off the hard drive cover. So we've got to strip it down to the main board to actually do any of the work on it. So we'll pull the hard drive out. It's one simple screw. All these screws have to come out anyway, so we might as well take them out now. Honestly, it doesn't matter what order you take out all the screws and everything. Before we go too far into this, okay. So the customer's already taken off the warranty stickers, so I don't have to do that. But I do have to take these screws out. Like I said, everything has to pretty much come out of this, so all the screws are fair game. There's 4 screws on the back of the system. There is another model of the original PS4, the fat models, that actually has only 2 screws on it. Those are more of a pain in the open because you have to actually release on the sides here, but this one doesn't have that, so it'd be a little quicker. Okay. And of course I'm dropping stuff. Okay, so the power supply has to come out of here. So there's 3 Torx 8 screws. And 2 Phillips screws. Along with the grounding clip. So there's 2 grounding clips. They just go on the side there, then the Phillips screw goes in between it to hold it in place. Okay, so the power supply. Hook your finger underneath this one side here. Give it a little bit of an upwards motion. There we go, that'll free that up. Wiggle out this connector. Get a little more light here. Okay, so from here, there is one really annoying screw right here, which actually holds the metal plate on the back in place. And then we'll remove the Wi-Fi antenna. Release the drive cable there and the power cable. Okay. Let's got the screws out of there. It's got one more screw in the middle of this case here. Then we can take off the main part of the kit. From here, what you're going to do is lift to this part. This is the touch-sensitive sensor under here. So lift it from that part, and then you kind of... Some of these release easier than others. Some of them are a little bit more of a pain. And you don't want to do it too hard because you'll catch your finger on the edge there every single time, which you don't want to do. Okay. Freaking dust bunnies. We'll get the system blown out afterwards regardless. Okay, continue removing screws. Okay, then we got the retention clip for the processor. Looks like they may have done something with it. So, this one was running extremely loud. What we're also going to do is, sometimes there's a lot of dirt actually located at the heatsink itself. So there's 3 screws that actually take off this metal plating. And there's one other thing I'll have to do before we yank this metal plating off too. That's the Wi-Fi cable. So on the back side here, the Wi-Fi cable is just kind of, let's see if I can get a better view. Holy, that's a lot of glare. So you can see there that the Wi-Fi cable is just kind of looped around. Okay. And I think you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect example. I apologize for that. Okay, so perfect example is this. So regardless of what they actually did as far as changing out the thermal paste and everything else, you don't have air moving through the system, you're not going to be able to cool anything down. Okay, and I think I've got a phone call here, but I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that, guys. We just had a phone call there, but anyway, so we're back. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna mute the mic for a second, only because I have to turn on the air compressor, because this is gonna get messy. Okay, so this may be loud, so I apologize ahead of time. That should look a little better anyways. Okay. So the actual heatsink is an absolute magnet for any kind of dust and crap to get stuck onto. So if it is being run in a very, very dirty environment, the sooner you bring it in, or the more often you bring it in, the better. And don't wait until your system sounds like a jet airplane taking off, because that is too late. Man, there's even dirt like clogged in these fins. Okay. Okay. So that is taken care of. We can put that back on. Again, 3 little screws. Okay, as far as the processor goes, we got to get the old thermal compound off of there. It's still got a little bit of moisture in it, so it wasn't completely dried out. Okay. Getting a little low on this alcohol, but got plenty in the store anyways. Okay, so we put the thermal paste on there. Then we can slap it back together. Then it's legitimately just the reverse steps. So we'll get the fan on there. Metal shielding in place. And then we'll start putting the screws back in. So, there's really no reason to test the system at this point. We haven't actually done anything really evasive other than take it all apart, put it back together. So, I don't test it at this point. I'm sure some people will, just for the the extra little bit of confidence. But I do so many of these systems. My God, these gloves aren't tight enough. Okay. Couple more screws here. Then we got to get that retention clip for the processor in place. When you're putting the bracket in place, make sure these clips are actually underneath the bracket. The way I tend to do it is to put the screws in place, kind of rock. Oh, see, even I did it. This little clip here, it's actually over top, so it won't give you the pressure it needs. There we go. So screw down one side, screw down the other side, kind of keep on going back until it's evenly tight on both sides. That for the thermal paste will actually spread out properly. So one more screw at the back here. Okay, from here we can put the hard drive back in. And the screw for the hard drive. Just gonna blow out the case a little bit here. There we are. Wrong side of the case. So we can put this piece back on, and then we can start tackling the other side. Let's get this Wi-Fi antenna hooked up. There we go. Then we got the power cable for the Blu-ray drive. Or optical disc drive. Okay. So all those cables are hooked up. We've got the ribbon cable there. So on here, we have the ribbon cable, the power cable, and the Wi-Fi. And I should have probably routed that around there. There we go. Sorry about the glare. Not much I can do on that one. Okay, I'm just going to blow out the power supply a bit. We'll get this in there. Okay, so power supply back in place. So we've got 3 Torx 8 screws to put in place on the power supply. Thanks for watching. If you haven't followed, please do. Okay, so we've got the power supply back in there, drive's all hooked up, and we're all ready to go pretty much. So grab this case, slide it onto the front first, situate, flips down. And then we have the 4 screws. Okay. See if I can find my warranty stickers here. I have to do that after the stream. Actually, you know what? I'll grab another one. Back in 1 second. Okay. Okay, So warranty stickers are in place and everything else. So we're just going to power this on. And video capture card for the secondary HDMI for that is being a little bit of a pain in the ass today. We'll try it out anyways, but it was giving me a signal through everything else except through our streaming software. So funny enough, the microscope cam works perfect right now, but this one doesn't. They're the exact same device. So this system should be a hell of a lot quieter than it was. There we go. White light. That's a microscope. Let's see if I can actually get this working here. Okay, now even in that, it's giving me a black screen. Let's see if it gives me anything here. No, same thing, black screen. That sucks. Okay, well, you're gonna have to take my word for it that the system's working fine. Just gonna hook it up to the TV here. But this system was extremely loud for the second that I turned it on. And we don't have that problem anymore. You want to see it running? There we have it there. So just going to run it through NHL and make sure the sound doesn't kick up on it, but I'm 100% confident that it's perfect now. There we go. Loaded up NHL, fine. No noise from it, which is nice. Gets it back to the way it was from the factory, pretty much. Drive's working fine. We're all good to go. So we'll see what else we have, because if you have a few more systems over there, I just have no idea what it is, so... Okay, so this one's good to go. Once it turns off, then we'll get started on another one. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell the next one is. So we'll put that one aside to give the customer a call. And we'll see what else we have. Okay, so here we have an interesting one. This is a PS4 system that was booked in for repair. And this one says, drive alignment or replacement. Kids shoved discs in the tray and now they won't come out. Customer tried using the manual disc ejection system, which never works. Customer is given consent to repair, just alignment or replacement to go ahead. So what we'll do is we'll power it on and actually see what happens with it. So system turned on, made a noise like it was loading. Yeah, that's not a good sound. Definitely not a recommended sound. Okay. So this one I'm not going to wait for it to power on. We'll crack it open and see what's going on with it. Okay. So this again is one of the original fat ones. 3 screws on it. It's funny, that sound you just heard from the drive, I've heard it on the Xbox originals. They had problems with the gear sticking, but I've never actually heard it on a PS4, so be interesting to see what it is. Okay, so the warranty sticker's out of the way. We'll get these 3 Torx 8 security screws out of the way. So not really dirty, but we'll get it blown out before we put it back together. So the drive itself, there's a couple of Torx 8 screws that need to come out. So one here, one over here, one at the front. Okay. And then there is Robertson screw at the front. Sorry, Phillips. And then the drive itself, there's one more Torx 8 underneath this ribbon cable. Then we have the power cable, which we'll use the needle nose pliers to get out. There we are. This drive will be ready to come out. Oh yeah, I can already see. So we had this piece fall out. There's a disc in there already. So we're gonna have to crack her open anyways. So they definitely got this disc nicely stuck in there. There it is. I was trying to figure out where I put the white thing. Okay. Oh yeah, they've got the gears all off of this thing. Okay, so we'll just put that away. Got their NHL 19 there. Seems to be a popular. Holy crap. Yeah, they've really buggered up these gears. Okay, so these are the gears here. So this one sits on this side. And when you put the disc in, the disc goes in, sits over the gears, this little white piece is in the middle, and then feeds the disc into the drive itself. They've tried not only the regular eject, but they've chewed up this left gear. I don't know if you can actually see it, but they've chewed up this gear really, really nicely. So we'll get these cleaned off at least with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And we'll see if we can salvage them. Okay. So these two gears are actually exactly the same. But to start out with, that one has to go on first. And then there's a challenge on this one. So what you have to do is get the gears in place, but also get this white thing in there. Okay, now, this tray is still in the loaded position, so we need to actually get that to reset. The easiest way to reset it is to actually put power to the system without the top mechanism being in place. And what will happen is the disk will actually eject, drive tray will come down into the unloaded position, and it'll be good to go. Actually, this should be in the unloaded position right now, even though there was a disk in there. If it was in the loaded position, this would actually be up, so you wouldn't be able to get another disk in. Which means we should be good to actually put her back together at this point. This part here is actually the manual eject part, and I've never actually seen one work for a stuck disk, especially when you have little pieces. So usually that white piece that popped out or the other two pieces happens when you jam a disk into the drive itself. So you're jamming the disk in there, and it ends up popping out the gears. So you know, it's better than snapping something permanently. At least we're able to put it back together. We didn't have to replace the drive. But yeah. You got to be extremely careful with it. So we'll slide the drive in. The part you got to be careful of is there's a metal tab here that has to go kind of behind. Try and do it for the camera. Power cable fell down behind. And then there's also one on this side here, which you can't see because of the frickin' logo. That has to go on the outside too, and then you want to wiggle it into place so it's secure. Grab the needle nose pliers, get the power cable in there. the ribbon cable in place. Okay. Screw in place, so you get the little screw from the front of the drive in place. And then we've got the multiple Torx 8 screws. Okay. So, last thing to do really feeling a little bit like poop today, but got lots of repairs to do, so had to come in. Okay. So we'll power this on. No eject noise, which is good sign. Also good. Just gonna mute the microphone for a second here, and I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Okay. Normally there wouldn't be that many phone calls, but people are buying stuff just after Christmas, and they're buying them broken. And then, you know, we get the flack on the broken Kijiji systems and stuff. But anyways, so where were we? So yeah, testing the system. So it is taking in the disk perfectly. We got to make sure that it actually is reading the disk at this point, just to make sure that the customer didn't do any further damage on the system. Be nice if the controller actually... There we go. All these people NHL 19. Second system in a row with an NHL 19 in it. Hey. Come here. Okay, come here, bud. Come here. Good and dirty, hey? Okay. Man, I'm getting dirty today. Okay. So yeah, system's working perfect now. So all it was an alignment of the drive. Get those gears back in place and it's good to go. The customer will be happy with that. So if you guys do have any questions in regards to that repair or any of the other repairs, just put a comment in down below. If you are watching live, then you can actually, if you're watching live, then you can just put in the actual chat, and I'll try and get around to actually answering it. Right now, where's our YouTube? Okay, so I got this comments going for YouTube too, so. If there's any questions, concerns, or anything as we're doing the repairs, then let me know. Okay, so this is another console, good to go. Gotta put one more screw into it. So this is, I think, the... How many is this now? Number 6 of PS4s today. Coming up probably in about 2 weeks or so, I want to do a 24-hour stream. We're going to invite some of our customers in to play some games with us. We'll be playing games all night long. The challenge is that 24-hour stream means we'll be streaming while the store is open, which means who knows who's going to be coming in. But we'll see what we can do. If anybody comes in and mentions the stream, maybe we'll do a special deal for them too. We're going to be donating it'll be for Sick Kids Hospital, and we'll be donating part of our sales for that day to Sick Kids or to the stream itself for Second Life. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at see what else there is over there, and I'll be right back. Okay. So surprisingly, there's nothing is going to be that I can actually do right now. And it could help if I wasn't on the cord. Okay. So there isn't much I can actually do as far as repairs right now. So we're going to end the stream here. And if you're just watching this for the first time, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch. Every subscribe or follow really helps us out. And allows us to, oh wait, replace the laser on, not just the laser, but the whole mechanism. I've double checked my connections and everything is right. When I load a disk through, it just spins and clicks. Makes an eject sound and then tries again. Okay, so. Yeah, no problem on the broken up message. So Kevin, are we talking a PS4 system here? Because it sounds like what you're describing is what you see on PS3 systems more than PS4 systems. PS3, okay. That's what I thought. So, with the PS3 Slims, those are the first generation of the consoles that actually tended to do that. What is happening is when you load the disc in, the laser fires up and spins the disc and it tries to read the disc. Now, it could be that you have a scratch on the disc and it's not reading that one disc, but most likely it's probably not reading all discs or having a very hard time reading discs. What happens when you put the disc in is it'll actually spin the disc up to speed, and once it spins it up to speed, it attempts to actually read the disc. If it fails to read the disc, what it tries to do is actually reload the disc. So that's that clicking noise that you hear is actually it trying to reload the disc into position. And then it spins it up again and tries to read it again. In that situation, it is going to be your laser. You can't swap out the whole drive. Depending on which Slim you have, some of the Slims have the drive board on the drive, some of them have it on the main board itself. If it's on the main board, then you could potentially swap out the drive if there's no drive board on it with a replacement drive, which you can pick up pretty much off any dead system or on eBay. If it is the one with the drive board, then you can replace the drive, but the drive board has to go along with it. And I believe on the Slims, it's been a while since I've worked on them a lot, many years probably, on a regular basis. But there's two different drives, actually, two different possible lasers that you can put into a Slim. So you got to be careful about which laser you're actually ordering. But in any case, I don't know if you're a local customer, long distance customer, or whatever, but we can help you out if that is the situation that you need. I think the repair on a PS3 Slim for laser replacement with a brand new laser is either $85 Canadian or $95 Canadian. So if you are local, then hit us up and we can take care of that for you. You caught me just in time. We're just about to end the stream. Any more questions, Kevin, or are you good to go? and since you're not watching anymore, I guess you got your answer. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, you're still there. Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Well, if you have any more questions, put comments in below, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Thanks, Kevin.